Y'all, what in the Dateline meets Netflix meets Gone Girl is going on? Malcolm-Jamal Warner, yes, Theo from The Cosby Show, the smooth-talking, jazz-loving icon who survived Bill Cosby's chaos and kept it classy, is dead, drowned, face down in the waters of Costa Rica. But baby, that ain't even the gag. The real scandal? His wife vanished immediately after his body was found. No tears. No Instagram black and white tribute. No, I soulmate is gone sob story. Just poof gone like your ex's Netflix. Login, where is she? Who even was she? And why is no one in Hollywood talking about it like it's business as usual? No funeral footage. No eulogy. No co-stars clutching tissues on Good Morning America. Just an eerie silence that feels less like grief and more like a damn cover-up. And here's the kicker, fans didn't even know he was married. His wife went from ghost wife to full-on ghost literally overnight. So now we're left with nothing but questions, whispers, and a trail of red flags waving harder than Bianchi's fan during a world tour. This isn't just a death. It's a digital vanishing act wrapped in mystery. So buckle up, cause this rabbit hole. Oh, we're diving in. Head first, okay. Let's stop pretending and say it out loud. Something is seriously off here. Malcolm-Jamal Warner didn't just die. He vanished from the living world under the sketchiest circumstances possible, and somehow, not a single person from the Hollywood Brotherhood is raising a damn eyebrow. Excuse me, this is the same man who helped define black television in the 80s and 90s, survived the Cosby curse, avoided every scandal thrown at his generation, and kept his personal life so squeaky clean you could eat off it. And now, he's gone, and not even a bet Twitter post. Here's what we allegedly know. Warner, 54, was on a private, spiritual retreat in Costa Rica. He had reportedly gone off-grid to reconnect with nature. Cute, right? Except here's the bombshell: he wasn't alone. A woman, supposedly his wife, a wife no one knew existed, had booked the trip for them. And now she's the main character in the strangest disappearing act this side of Houdini. Let's pause there. Malcolm-Jamal Warner was married? Now, if you're a die-hard fan, you probably remember vague whispers about a longtime partner from a few interviews years ago. But this wasn't no Jada and Will transparency. This was lockdown tight, vault-sealed type secrecy. No red carpet photos, no gushy anniversary posts, not even a blurry paparazzi sighting. And yet, we're supposed to believe this ultra-private mystery wife not only existed but booked a tropical retreat that ended with his death and her disappearance? Okay, cool. Totally normal, but wait, it gets messier. Sources close to Warner allegedly told a very reliable blog that he had been acting distant, paranoid, and emotionally drained in the weeks leading up to this mysterious trip. One crew member from a recent Netflix project said he looked like he was carrying the weight of something heavy, not grief, not stress. It was like fear. Excuse me, fear? And y'all just let him go to Costa Rica with ghost wife? Let's break it down. The timeline is just suspicious enough to make you scream. July 11. Warner allegedly boards a private plane to Costa Rica with his wife. July 13. Neighbors at the Jungle Villa report loud arguing around midnight. Jungle arguing at midnight. Got it. July 14. Warner is found dead, face down in a natural spring behind the villa. Locals say it looked like a drowning, but no official autopsy report has been released. July 15. The wife? Gone. Passport not scanned at any known airport. No credit card activity. No cell phone pings. Just vanished. Now let's throw some gasoline on this already flaming scandal. A private coroner hired not by the family, but by an anonymous third party arrived on the scene the same day Warner's body was found. And guess what? No public report has been issued. To date, what are they hiding? Toxicology? Bruises? Defensive wounds? Oh, but it doesn't stop there. The villa itself was scrubbed clean before authorities could investigate. Bleach was allegedly found near the bath area. bleach, in a jungle retreat, during a spiritual getaway. Yeah, okay. And here's the dagger Warner's close friend and fellow actor who asked to remain anonymous told a tabloid he was planning to end things with her. She wasn't stable. He knew something was off. He told me, if I go missing, start with her, Chili. We are officially in Lifetime movie territory, and yet, the mainstream media? Silent. Not a peep from the networks. No headlines on CNN. No late-night tributes. No heartstring-pulling montages. Why? Because something or someone is making sure this stays buried. But don't worry. We're not done digging, because if the silence surrounding Malcolm's death is deafening, then the whispers about who this wife really is, they're about to blow the lid clean off. And just when you thought this couldn't get messier, oh, honey, buckle up. Because if Malcolm-Jamal Warner's sudden death left us breathless, then his wife's Houdini-style disappearance sent the internet into cardiac arrest. No trace, no funeral, no cryptic Instagram story, just poof. She vanished faster than a record deal after a Versus battle flop. And before you start shouting, maybe she just grieving, pause. Because grief don't scrub your digital footprint cleaner than Olivia Pope on a deadline. Let's rewind a bit, because the wife in question, one Miss Laney's Warner, yes, we said wife with air quotes, already had the streets talking. For someone married to a TV legend, Laney's always carried herself like she was auditioning for her own spin-off. Private jets, mystery vacations, no job the IRS could pin down. And don't even get us started on the whispers from her old college roommate who said Laney's had a thing for celebrity estates and once joked that widow money pays the best. Baby, WHAT? According to a leaked burner phone voicemail, you heard that right, a voice sounding suspiciously like Laney's was heard saying, "Make sure the paperwork's clean. I want my cut fast. If he's gone, I'm gone too, now." If that ain't a Lifetime original waiting to happen, I don't know what is. Allegedly, that voicemail was handed over by an anonymous cousin of Malcolm's who said, "We try to protect him, but love makes you blind," and in his case, fatal. Now, let's talk about the body. Or should we say, the lack of one? That's right, no coroner report, no autopsy. Just a one-line press release from an unnamed representative saying Malcolm passed peacefully in private. Excuse me? Since when do A-list Black Hollywood legends just die in silence with no memorial, no tribute, not even a faded bet clip montage? Even fans started noticing the inconsistencies. Twitter went full CIA mode. One thread by a dead Slay 3 are racked up 3 million views into hours, breaking down timestamps, geotags, and metadata from Laney's deleted Instagram posts. The theory? Malcolm had been missing for weeks before the public death announcement, and Laney's was using scheduled posts to make it look like he was still alive. Someone even pulled footage from a podcast Malcolm filmed 2 months prior, where he said, and we quote, "I've been cleaning house lately, reevaluating everyone around me. Some people smile in your face and pray for your downfall, y'all." Are we the only ones hearing the ominous foreshadowing in that? But the real mic drop came when Malcolm's co-star from Read Between the Lines, who we'll just call T for now, posted and then immediately deleted a cryptic tweet. "You can love someone and still be afraid of them. Rest easy, MQ the record scratch." What do you mean afraid? Was this a warning? A confession? A buried subtext we all missed while clapping for Black family sitcoms? Then came the FBI, or as the blogs like to call them, the funeral block. Investigators. Okay, not really, but it fits. An insider claiming to be close to the situation told T-Temple blog that Malcolm's bank accounts were frozen just 3 days before his death, and not because he was broke. Oh no, Malcolm had money long, but because of suspicious third-party withdrawals tied to offshore accounts in Laney's maiden name. Chili, we are not dealing with an amateur here, and that's not all. A neighbor at their LA estate who we'll refer to only as Miss Pam because, you know, Street Loyalty says she saw a U-Haul outside the house the morning after the death was announced. But here's the catch. It wasn't Laney's moving out. It was boxes of his things awards. Photos, personal journals being hauled away by a private security firm. They cleaned that house out like he never lived there, Miss Pam said, clutching her pearls. And let's not forget the fans. The people who grew up on Malcolm's shows, who saw him as the good black man on TV when media offered us crumbs. They're mad. One commenter on Shadowroom's repost of the story said, "This man raised a whole generation and y'all giving him a Canva obituary? Nah, something ain't right." Another posted a side-by-side of Laney's wearing what appeared to be his vintage Cosby sweater. The audacity. And here's where it gets even crazier. Laney's sister, whom she allegedly cut off 2 years ago, suddenly pops up on Facebook talking about karma don't miss. If you know, baby, we don't know, but now we want to know everything. So to recap, Malcolm-Jamal Warner is dead, but no one's seen a body. His wife disappeared right after. Financial records were scrubbed. A burner phone voicemail. Hints at a setup. Co-stars and family members dropping cryptic crumbs. Fans outraged at the silence and the shade. So now that the dust is thick in the air and the streets of speculation are flooded, let's talk aftermath. Because baby, this wasn't just a death, it was a strategic silence, a digital disappearance, and a complete erasure of narrative control. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, once the face of America's clean-cut sitcom Pride, allegedly dropped dead under what some are now calling professionally staged circumstances. But the twist? His wife didn't just grieve, she ghosted. No public statement, no funeral appearance, no flowers, just poof, gone. And don't come at us with the privacy excuse. This ain't 1985. In the age of live-streamed births and TikTok funerals, silence is a statement, and her silence, screaming louder than a conspiracy theory subreddit during a Mercury retrograde. Now let's talk about her last known appearance. TMZ won't report it, but we will. An anonymous tip from an alleged Uber Black driver said she was seen 3 nights after Malcolm's death entering a luxury townhouse in Laurel Canyon with a certain studio executive who, may I remind you, was once caught funneling hush money to keep a certain star's medical records sealed. Oh, y'all thought this was about grief? Sweetie, this is about influence, assets, and disappearing paperwork, but the mess doesn't end there. Allegedly, Malcolm's life insurance policy worth a cool $7.2 million was updated 2 weeks before his passing. And guess what was removed? His longtime co-stars, people he called brother and sister on and off screen. Not a dime. And guess who the sole beneficiary is? That's right. The wife who disappeared into thin air with a brand new lease on luxury life. Now tell me again that this is just grief. No baby, this is financial cleansing with a designer smile. And before y'all go defending her with maybe she needed space, let me drop this. Malcolm's estate executor tried to reach her. Multiple calls, emails, certified letters, nothing. But her Amex? Oh, that's very much active. According to an insider at a Beverly Hills boutique, her card was used to purchase a $12,000 crocodile handbag 2 days after his supposed cremation. Cremation, by the way, which reportedly happened with zero next of kin present. That's not a family grieving. That's a heist wrapped in linen and laced with lavender-scented manipulation. And don't even get me started on the Hollywood cleanup crew. You know who they are, the same PR wizards that swept multiple DV allegations under the rug for half of 90 Seconds TV royalty. Well, guess who was spotted at Malcolm's house just hours before the news broke? A man known in industry circles as the Mop. That's not even me being shady. That's literally his nickname. The Mop shows up when stories need erasing, when legacies need sanitizing, and when truth needs to be softly euthanized. So what are we really looking at here? A grieving widow? or the final player in a Hollywood operation to retire a reputation before it could collapse under scrutiny. Because what if Malcolm was sitting on secrets bigger than we could imagine? Secrets that involved names, contracts, NDAs, and medical enhancements that could have shattered networks if leaked. Remember that Hush Hush pilot Malcolm was working on? The one where he was reportedly exposing the darker side of studio life, including fake wellness clinics used to mask substance abuse in high-profile actors? Yeah, that one. It mysteriously vanished from the studio's internal database the same week he died. You think that's coincidence? Please. I've seen more subtlety in a Real Housewives reunion. Even his private journals, yes, actual physical, handwritten journals he was known to keep have reportedly gone missing. His longtime assistant, who was working with him for over a decade, hasn't been seen or heard from since the funeral notice dropped. That's not a coincidence. That's a calculated vanishing act. Now there's whispers low-level staffers at his last production set leaking text messages, deleted voice memos, and internal Slack messages that point toward a major personal breakdown Malcolm allegedly experienced just days before his death. But here's the kicker, none of those breakdowns were reported by the studio, not even acknowledged. One source even claimed he was trying to reach out to former co-star Raven Simon with something urgent before being locked out of his own trailer. Oh, and the coroner's report, still under review, still pending, still conveniently backlogged in a system that never seems to delay when it comes to lesser-known names. Funny how that works, huh? Meanwhile, social media's buzzing with hashtags like #WhereIsShe and #Justice for Malcolm. But big media? Crickets. And now the growing theory isn't just that Malcolm died, it's that he was taken out of the narrative on purpose. That his wife was part of a long game removal plan. And that we've all been watching the curtain close on a man who might have been too awake for their comfort. So here we are. A dead star, a missing wife, a million unanswered questions, no tributes, no closure, no public accountability, just digital echoes and a rapidly vanishing paper trail. But let me leave you with this. When a man with that much history dies with this little noise, it's not silence, it's censorship. And censorship always leads to control. So ask yourself, was Malcolm-Jamal Warner taken from us or erased before he could talk? Because in Hollywood, the most dangerous thing you can do is tell the truth before the script is approved. And now, here we are left with more questions than answers. No tribute, no closure, just a trail of silence so loud, it's deafening. So what do you think really happened to Malcolm-Jamal Warner? And why is his wife suddenly off the grid? Hit that like button, drop your wildest theory in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe because baby, this rabbit hole just got deeper and we're diving in headfirst every single time.